This is my 25-26 Premier League predictions, the earliest Premier League predictions, before the signings are out, before everything is started. Let's start with relegation spots. Going to be a big surprise, but 18th place Leeds, 19th place Sunderland, 20th place Burnley. Big surprise. The teams that came up go right back down. Not for the first season, is it? It happened this season. It happened the season before. And I think it will happen next season as well. Because if you look at all the teams in the Premier League, they're all coming up for the parachute payments. They get paid almost 150 or 200 million pounds just for coming up. And if you think that's not big, even teams like United, even teams like Tottenham, teams at the top end were vying. They need that 100 million pounds that we could have got from Champions League. So if you think it's big for us, imagine the teams that are in the Championship that are struggling to make it up, and you're getting 200 million payments for just making it up into the Premier League, and then you can go back down. And then now you can cook in the league below, and you come up to the league, and then you just get your name shown. Maybe sell a few players after that for a lot of money, and you repeat that cycle over and over again. You're getting money. The owners are getting money. They're getting rich, which is why you see, once the teams come up, they sell their best players. Notably, I look at Sunderland. Look at Sunderland. They had Joe Bellingham. Now, we're not saying Joe Bellingham is a world superstar or whatever, but he is playing for Dortmund, is he now? It's not like he's playing for another championship team or a lower Premier League team. He's gone to Borussia Dortmund directly. And he's been sold for 40 million euros. So you would think if Sunderland had any ambition, you would think that they would keep on to their 40 million superstar. But no, they just sold him straight up. Add to that the payments that they're going to get in parachute payments and the ones that are going to follow in year 2, in year 3. But this is why I think we might be stuck in a cycle for a long time where the promoted teams are going to go back down. If you get demoted down into the Championship, relegated into the Championship, you might not come back for a long time. Now, let's talk about top 6. 6th place, I'm going to go and give it to Chelsea. Why Chelsea? Because while they have been solid, and again, early predictions, right? They have brought in Liam Delap. Liam Delap, who I think is an amazing striker, a striker we should have gone for. But it's, again, just like I said last season's predictions, it's either a case of they click or they don't click at all. And the more you see of Chelsea, the more you saw of them last season, you see that they are maturing. They are reaching that stage where they could really, it could go one of two ways. Either they go finish in 6th, a disappointing season, or they're challenging for the league till the end. It can't go any other way. So in that case, I'd put Chelsea in 6th. 5th place, just because we don't have anything else, Man United. We don't have Europa League, Conference League, Champions League, nothing else to worry about. We have one game a week essentially for the rest of the year. And you're telling me we can't make top 5. With this attacking strikers that we're signing as well. We're not having Garnacho. We're not having Hoyland. We're not having whoever Mount starting anymore. It's going to be a proper attacking line from now on at least. And add to that, in the midfield, we're going to replace the midfielders that we had last season with midfielders who can both technically contribute and also physically contribute. Add to that, Ahmad, Ambomo, Cunha, and a new keeper. All upgrades that had to be made. The only reason I think that we will not do so well is if you look at the fixture list, it's not the easiest to start with. And because Ruben Amorim might struggle, will struggle, I think there's a chance that he could get potted at some point in the season, maybe in November, December. But then a new manager comes in and the quality that we have is just too good to mess up the next time. That if we sign a manager who is willing to just try things out, then you know what? We might just do well enough to finish 5th place. 4th place, Arsenal. They're going to fall off a little bit just because, again, you need a striker. You go and sign midfielders and defenders. But no, Arteta keeps on adding Norgard, Zubimendi while he's a good signing. And I'm not really criticizing Arsenal signings for once because they're decent signings. But I would always say, why couldn't Chelsea, why couldn't Arsenal, why couldn't a couple of other clubs just have our window, the window that we are about to have this season and the window that we had last season? You add these two windows up, I think any team just levels up automatically. And teams like Arsenal, teams like Chelsea should be looking at that because it's a perfect age profile, it's a perfect profile of players that they need as well. Why not just go for that? Third place again for the second year running, Newcastle. Newcastle this year they're gonna upgrade. They're gonna keep Isaac. They have Gordon. They still have Bruno Guimaraes. They have Tonali. Tonali for the full season, by the way. And they might add a few other players. They might add Elanga on the right side. And if they add Elanga, we know Elanga is not the best player. We know he's just an efficient player. But for a team that isn't a traditional big six, somebody that doesn't have the weight of the shirt, Elanga might actually do pretty well. Which is why I think somehow Newcastle will make it into third place. 2-1, really, you can take your pick. It's either way, but I think unfortunately Liverpool is going to do back to back and they're going to win the Premier League again. City in second, close second. It might be just like 2018-19, just like 2021-22. Close race again, but I think this time Liverpool picked them. Finally, Liverpool will take the Premier League. And if I'm to talk about now young player of the season and other competitions, I could go on and this is going to get more interesting once the new signings come in. But as of the players that we have right now in the league, young player of the year, I think, will go to Wirtz. Just because I've seen Wirtz play at Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso, and Xabi Alonso is no joke. And the system that they have, the 3-4-3 with possession, they try to suffocate you. And they do successfully, most of the time, suffocate you with runners. They had a very similar team to a Premier League team, if anything else. So Wirtz shouldn't have any problems settling in, unfortunately. And I think Wirtz will be Young Player of the Season. Player of the Season, on the other hand, again, will go to the league winners. Again, Player of the Year will go to the league winners, who I think will be Liverpool. But I think it's going to be a wild shout like McAllister, a midfielder who is very underrated by many players. People think it's going to be Salah, who's a star of the show. It's Gravenberch. But it's always McAllister. He's the engine. He's the one that keeps the ball ticking. He keeps the team running. You remove McAllister, you will see how bad of a shape Liverpool will be in. So which is why I think McAllister is going to win Player of the Season. Golden Boot winner, big surprise, Haaland. It's just Haaland. Even in his bad season, Haaland won the Golden Boot. So what do you even say against the guy? You might not like him. I don't like him as a player. But you can never deny the fact he gets his goals. And for assists, I think it's going to be a left field shout from Newcastle. I think it's going to be Anthony Gordon. Just because of the amount of goals that Newcastle score, they're going to overwhelm you. They're either going to win 1-0 or lose 1-0, or they're going to smack you 5-6. And it's nothing in between normally. So in that case, I would say Gordon will win most assists. And essentially, I think Premier League and all the cup competitions are going to be dominated by the big six. United, I think, will get the Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup will go this time to City. Yes, they lost last year in the cup final, but they were not a serious team last year. This year, on the other hand, they have a lot going for them, which is why do not be surprised. And I'm not putting the Champions League predictions out yet. That will be for the full prediction later on in the season. But I will not be surprised if Man City go and win both the FA Cup and the Champions League. Just because of the technical players that they have added to their list. They have Turkey, they have Reinders, they have a lot of players that could really take out this league and Champions League as well. It's pretty much going to be between PSG and Man City, even for the Club World Cup final. I think it's going to be very similar in the Champions League as well. So what do you guys think about the Premier League 25-26? Early predictions, put them down below. And we'll come back to this at the end of the season. The one who got it right, I will pin you and I will shout you out in the future video if you got it right. Exactly right, dot to dot. See you all in the next one.